So we're going to be looking at finding the sums of arithmetic sequences. So a sum is when we basically add up all the terms together to figure out what's the total that we could get. So one thing that you want to remember is from your formula, like we had on our formula sheet, I said make sure you put a time sign between the n over 2. If you don't do that, you're going to end up in trouble. So here, you need to make sure you put in your time sign, bracket, and bracket. Okay? If you don't do that, you're definitely not going to be getting the right answers. So, a lot of the things are the same here. N is still equal to the term number. So we're asking basically is it the first, 7th, 25th term in the sequence, whatever that is. A is still your first term, the value of the first term. And D is still your common difference, how much it goes up or down in each time. And then S sub n, this is the value of the sum, or basically the sum of n terms. So what I mean is S3 would be sum of first 3 terms, and S12 would be the sum of the first 12 terms. So you would literally take the first 12 terms and add them all up, and that would give you the sum. So if we take a look at it, find the sum of the sequence, 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, up to 10 terms. So here, what they're looking for is S10, the sum of the first 10 terms. And that tells us that we're looking at n of 10. I know here that my a is going to be 2 because it's the first term, and if you look at those differences, what am I going up in each time? D is going to be plus 3. So a, d, and n, and then we can just plug them straight into this formula. So there is invisible time signs between the a and after the bracket here as well, if you want to put those in. Some people find them helpful to remember, and you definitely want to get that time sign in here. So, important part of the formula to think about here, and make sure you're able to plug it in correctly. So if I was going to be putting this into my calculator, the way they have it written out, I would do, myself personally, I would do 10 divided by 2 times, bracket, 2 times 2 plus, bracket 10 minus 1. You could just do 9. It's easier than writing bracket 10 minus 1 times 3 and close bracket. And you get 155. Some of you who are very fond of that fraction button could be using that as well. So you could go 10 fraction 2, but you have to make sure you put that time sign there, that second one. And you can simplify things as you go along, like maybe you recognize that 2 times 2 is 4, so just write 4. And 10 minus 1 is just 9 times 3. A lot less to type in. If you're comfortable doing that, you can. If not, just type it in exactly as you see it and you'll still get the right answer. So be careful with that, and make sure you get that time sign between that fraction and the brackets. So if we took a look at some examples here, here I know that a is equal to 1, and my d looks like it's going to be plus 3, so d is equal to 3. And they want me to find the sum to the first 50 terms, so n is going to be equal to 50. And what I'm looking for is the sum of the first 50 terms. So I could add 1 plus 4 plus 7 plus 10 plus 13 and keep adding up all those terms until I've added all 50 of them. But this formula is what does it for us. So again, looking at this guy here, I'm looking for S sub 50, and I know that n is 50, so I'll go 50 over 2 times, bracket, 2 times a is 1, plus bracket n is 50 minus 1, bracket, times d, which is 3, and a big closed bracket on the end of it all. So plugging that into the calculator, 50 divided by 2 times bracket 2 times 1 plus bracket 50 minus 1, again you could just do 49 there, times 3, close bracket. And you get a sum here for the first 50 terms is equal to 3,725. So if you add up the first 50 terms, that's the number that you're going to get. So that's kind of how you apply these problems.